Mr. Davis, Mayor from the City of Brantford.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair, and I thank you for inviting me to this committee hearing. I am the Mayor of the City of Brantford. I was elected in October 2018 after having practiced law for 38 years. Now, I was a civil litigator. I did not practice criminal law, so I'm not coming to you as an expert in criminal law, and I don't pretend to be. However, I'm here to speak on behalf of my community and many of the residents in my city who are very concerned about what they see as a deterioration in social order and what they're experiencing in their daily lives. And fortunately for most, it does not involve exposure to violent crime. We read the headlines, we see it, there is violent crime that occurs in our community, but what most residents see in their daily lives is a very visible increase in what I'd call non-violent crime. They see their cars being broken into multiple times. Their homes and property are being vandalized and stolen. They see open drug use and open drug dealing. And they see that our local police service, led by Chief Davis, who I believe testified in this committee earlier this month, they see that the police doing an excellent job investigating, making arrests, and they see, and we're a relatively small city, and so people generally are known, they're seeing people who commit these types of crimes being released multiple times, even in the face of many prior breach of probations and breaches of prior release orders. And I can give you a couple of examples, and I know the committee has distributed some of what are Chief Davis. These slides are from actually Chief Davis and the Brantford Police Service. They refer to 10 of the most what the police service call prolific offenders. And there are a couple of there's an example of one who has had at the time the survey was done, 73 substantive charges, 9 failures to comply, 25 breaches of probation, multiple releases, almost 20, in excess of 20, but continued to commit admittedly nonviolent offenses. And it was interesting, last year we actually had an individual in the court system, he pled guilty to several break-and-enters. And he actually said during his sentencing that he remarked he'd been arrested 8 times in the previous 12 months. And he felt the system bore some responsibility for his crime spree for failing to keep him in custody. An offender mentioned that. We had another individual in our downtown seen on multiple surveillance videos across social media, destroyed $70,000 in plate glass windows. Was arrested very quickly, was then very quickly released, then went out to destroy another $20,000 worth of plate glass windows later in the day, rearrested, released, and then his spree was then brought to a halt because he committed a more serious criminal offense, and so he was detained. And I realize I'm giving you ad hoc incidents, but this is what citizens are experiencing on a pretty much weekly and daily basis. And they're becoming disillusioned in the judicial system. They're losing confidence in the judicial system. Yes, they use words like revolving door of justice, but that reflects a perception that the judicial system is not protecting them, not protecting their property. And I'm very much concerned as a lawyer what that will do over time, a gradual erosion of the value of rule of law, that law applies to everyone equally, that there are consequences for those that break the rules, and that people not take the law into their own hands. And in fact, Chief Davis just recently commented in a newspaper article this week in Brantford that he's very concerned about this growing frustration that residents have with the judicial system, and in particular bail. And he's very much concerned about, there's talk on social media of vigilantism, and he's very much concerned that over the course of time, if the erosion continues that people have in the judicial system, that it could lead to that. We would obviously hope not. Now, I'm not advocating for people to be kept in jail more often and more frequently. And I have some other suggestions, albeit provided in a non-expert fashion that I'd be happy to provide if asked questions. I'm running out of 5 minutes. But I wanted to, in my first 5 minutes, convey to you a general feeling across my community. It's the number one complaint and inquiry I get in the office of the mayor week in, week out over the last 4 to 5 years that I've been mayor. There's no other issue that causes as much comment and directs so many comments to the mayor's office asking that we do something.